Hello and welcome everyone. This is Lavender Sky Panther. Today is Wednesday, November 4th, 2020, and today's topic is called Sky Candy. It's a collection of images and sky observations happening October 30th through November 2nd, 2020. And normally I don't launch shows back to back, but I did launch one out yesterday too. Just had a mass of photos and I want to get them out and logged in some shows, so here we go. And before we jump into the sky observations, I'd like to say good day, osio, hao, buongiorno, guten tag, kia ora, jambo, buenos dias, bonjour, ni hao, dzień dobry, konnichiwa, dobrohonya, annyeonghaseyo, boa tarde, dobry den, aloha winala, kalimera, and guten dag. And I'm calling this the Happy Halloween Belated Edition, and because some of the images happen over the course of Halloween time, which is October 31st in the United States, with trick-or-treating happening. So this little starter image is of a 1960s larger-than-life concrete statue in Miami, Florida, and it's a Japanese warrior, and he did have, I think, like a samurai-type sword in his hand, the one holding above his head, but somebody stole it. I don't know when, but it's gone. Anyway, let's go and have some fun with the show. All right, the first slide is just called Single Rainbow, ? Because at first glance it just appears like a nice vibrant rainbow. It's kind of flat, but it's still there, beautiful. And then somebody shouted out in the area that, hey, it's actually a double rainbow. So you start to see a faint line of it here. What's going to be interesting too is to watch what happens to it as it dives off to the right. So we're going to look at it with some enhancement to catch a little bit more of what's going on there. We don't quite catch it with the naked eye and the color spectrum for some reason, and the photo does a much better job of that because the camera has a greater photosensitivity and picks up a wider range of things. So let's take a look. And here we go. This is just called Double Rainbow Dives into Angled Shadow. We're going to take a look at this angled shadow here phenomenon. But here we go. Here's pops out our second rainbow. So it is there, yes. Now, when I say this phenomenon, I have noticed this now. This is the third time on the third rainbow in about 3 weeks that I see on the right-hand side of the arc. It just seems to hit. I just call it like hit a wall here, like this angle, and the angle seems to be on the same angle each time. So what is going on there? I'm not exactly sure. If you have any good ideas, let me know in the comment section below. This is called Rainbow Reflecting in Street Puddle. That's pretty self-explanatory. So I'm just pointing out that the rainbow was so vibrant it even picked up in the puddle on the ground, which is quite nice. This is called Smiling Face over Rainbow, and there's our same little rainbow, the lower portion of it. And here we have like almost like a jack-o'-lantern type face. You know, the like triangular eyes, a little, mischievous smile here going on, if this is the overall face. I do believe there's some type of Cloaking Craft maybe happening here beyond, because these were really dark blue in character, as is up here. So I don't know if this is, like a triangle here or part of a bigger overall installation, not sure. This is just strange cloud forms. On the left is the original, on the right is the enhanced photo. And when I say enhanced photo, going forward, I just mean I've edited attributes of the photo, such as color saturation, brightness, or contrast, just to pull out some things or highlight things that we're talking about in the photos, kind of points of interest. So on the left, it just seemed like this weird vapor in a vertical column happening. It wasn't really a cloud. It wasn't really mist. It was hard to define what that was. It was not rain. So on the right-hand side, we enhance the photo to try to get at what is going on. We have more solid character on this cloud where my cursor is than just a swath of something happening. And then this may be Cloaking Craft back here just based on the shape and the angle that the thing is pitching downward. But we didn't get to too much on this time around. Some photos with the enhancement will yield much more than others, as you will see coming up. So this one's called Strange Spontaneous Cloud Forms. I'm just noting very quickly, I've seen this odd kind of form happening to me that seems very artificial and controlled. Then we've got this strange angle, a little bit of chaotic activity happening. So I ran some enhancement to see what exactly is going on. And what I see is a dark void of a triangular form here. Is that a Cloaking Craft? Is it some type of film or some type of sensor technology? I'm not sure, but those are definitely angles and geometric. Now, I have A here called out. When you see letters like A or 8.1, it just simply means that's an area of interest that caught my attention to, feature on the show. There's going to be a lot of other stuff hiding in some of these photos that I just can't get to call out. So if you see something that I didn't and you'd like to see it in a show going forward, just let me know in the comment section below and I'll run enhancement on it and include it in a future show. In the meantime, that just calls out point of interest. And when you see a 0.1 or 2 and so on, it just means that I've even zoomed in more on that area or enhanced it more or both. So in this case, letter A represents this is something strange happening right here. So to me, this looks like cloaking material around some type of light, almost ethereal craft. It's very triangular, so see what you think is going on there. This is called Strange Spontaneous Clouds, Red, Pink, Sky Beams, East at Sunset. So, again, we have this weird form. I covered it in my show from yesterday. This just starts to be a collection of strange cloud forms that kind of bank and hang together, kind of in a ragtag way. And then it might have a little more development, it might not. But again, the overall installation is pitched down at an odd angle to be a cloud. So I believe there are different little parts and pieces in here that are Cloaking Craft, like the one that I featured yesterday. So A is just, I'm going to zoom in on this area because there seem to be structure popping out. There seem to be light, little things poking out all over the place. So we look at 8.1, and that seems to have a shadow to it. So I think there is structure hiding back in this cloaking material. That's what I'm going with. Now, also we have these sky beams happening at the east horizon. And notice this clear line and delineation where we've got like a white masking type effect veiling that out. This is called Colorful Clouds and Objects at Sunset. We're looking at weird cloud consistency and character adjacent to other weird, dark cloud form here, little bits and pieces here, more cumulus stuff in nature, but it looks like it has structure to it in here. That looks like a diamond, like it has geometry to it, maybe also hiding in here. So I think there is Cloaking Craft going on. This seems like something is emerging. It has an elliptical form. But then you look at overall too, it also could be something triangular. And here there's like a bit of structure popping up over here. So we're going to look at this with some contrast just to see if we can draw anything more out. Something very interesting is happening here that looks like it has structure and symmetry to it. Other little strange things happening along here. But I'll leave this to you to, have look forward at these little areas I was calling out to see if you see anything of note. Okay, this is a similar scene, yet when we're looking in at this pocket, the colors have changed dramatically, and we have some interesting, red pinks going on. Then look at this. It's like an ethereal white form happening. It almost looks like the pointed head of a squid with the tentacles going this way. And at letter A, it looks like a triangle. So we're going to zoom in with some contrast, see what's going on here. Oh, also down here where it's bright white, it looks like something very interesting might be going on there as far as the Cloaking Craft. But here we go. Here, that pops out at you there. But anyway, 8.1 is just still demonstrating that it's a triangular form. It's holding its shape and character. Then this looks very interesting to me. It almost looks like an organism, and I'm very open to that being a possibility as well, some type of biological form. But we're going to look at that with more enhancement and zooming in. So 8.2, we still see the triangle. And then B.2, we've got this squid-like thing I was referring to, if that's like the head, like the arrowhead shape, with the legs happening down there. So I don't really get to what is this thing any better. B3, it got a little pixelated. But see if anything, any bells are ringing there for you of what that could be. This is called Cloaking Craft Caravan at Sunset. And I have A as an area of interest flagged here. And it just looks weird. Look at this. This is in no way, shape, or form typical cloud activity. I've never seen that living here in decades, living on this planet. So what the heck is going on? So we're going to have a look with some enhancement. Now, this still looks really pretty bizarre. Whenever I see object hold true and dark, and I see this kind of like, looks like a plasma or some type of tufted cloaking material happening around it, it just tells me there's got to be craft cloaking, especially when this looks so unnatural. That kind of tufted smoke, I'll call it, activities happening around here too, and here. So we're going to look at 8.1, 8.2, we just see hard edges poking up out of here. And then this to me is just like a wash of like a wave of cloaking material happening over this thing. See what you think though. This is called Various Cloaking Craft at Sunset. Looking here again at kind of chaotic cloud activity over here, which just shows me this has got to be something cloaking beyond in here. What is this stuff? Again, this is no typical cloud form. Up here we get that choppy, it looks like something's oscillating energy-wise and disturbing the atmosphere. This happens a lot. I've featured in other shows where it's got to be electromagnetic wave activity of some craft or something above causing that disturbance. But see what you think. But anyway, you look at this, there's just a whole lot of different cloud parts and pieces happening at once. So we're going to look at it with some enhancements, see if we get any more clues here. So look how smooth and round this is. It's almost like the bottom of a boat, and it kind of curves back this way, very symmetrical. So to me, that could be some type of cloaking object. Maybe something back in here too. But as always, see what you think. I'm looking over here as well. There seems to be something self-illuminating or some type of brighter phosphorescent phosphorescent craft, like diving into this cloud body. I'm not sure. But as with any of these photos, feel free to take them and look at them with more scrutiny, at your own timing and pace. See if you see other interesting things that I haven't quite called out. Like this looks also like a dark symmetrical body diving down. That could be triangular. This could be triangular. Imprints. See what you think. This is called Moon Plus Visitor, and it's self-explanatory once again. My camera phone does not do well with darkness, so I got what I could. So this was looking east at about a little after 7 p.m. And you see the moon, and this is the little neighbor visitor here, very symmetrical, floating out all by its lonesome. So what exactly is going on there? So we're going to put some enhancement just to see if we can get any more detail out of this thing, albeit it's grainy. And not really. This ends up looking like a Van Gogh Starry Night type painting a little bit, but with all the pixelation and the wave movement. But at least you see, we've got two little objects here. That's about the best I could do trying to get at what's going on. All right, this is called Colorful Sky Plus Triangle. Left-hand side's original, right is with enhancement. And you just kind of don't get to too much of what's going on with this triangle other than this looks also like a triangle happening here and one further beyond. So as I've said before, are these, certain types of interdimensional craft? Are these imprints? Is it like a portal or like a Stargate? I don't know, like a portal type idea. Is it film or some other type of sensor or other equipment in the sky? I don't know. See what you think though. This is called Split Lit Sky and Warm Color Signatures East at Sunset. So we're looking east, and yet we're getting a heck of a lot of reddish pink signature and warm color in the sky. And here's that split effect. I don't know exactly what's causing that, but we got a darker beam happening in here as well. We're going to look at this with some contrast. So what is causing this really intense color signature happening at the horizon? This is not being caused by any effect happening from anything going on opposite to it at the west at sunset. So it's something is generating, on its own over here. Now there's so much veiling going on in the sky that I think we really would see this red effect even traveling much higher up. If you want to have some ideas or starting point on what could be generating that, if you don't have any already, have a look at my description box below. You'll see a wide variety of theories and ideas of what could be causing this. And I cover it extensively in other shows as well. So now we're just going to zoom in on those clouds. We're looking pretty strange too at the horizon. And we're going to look at it with some contrast to see what's going on. And here we go. So I'm seeing some bright white points popping out, and when I see bright white happening, with a backdrop of solid colors, it's either something self-illuminating or it's features of Cloaking Craft popping out. And it's not as apparent on this show as some others. I've captured more concrete bits and pieces of Cloaking Craft and machine parts. You'll have to, have a look around there. But you'll get the idea here on some of the other slides coming up. But either way, I'm seeing stuff pop out of here. I'm seeing some really weird activity happening here with this quote-unquote cloud. This looks like its own little thing, almost like what was passing by the moon in this slide I showed you a little bit before. So just strange stuff. This could be something else, so, Cloaking Craft beyond. And here as well. So how do we get a form like this anyway of a cloud? A little thing like this that's symmetrical, and this if these aren't some type of cloaking material. This is warm color signatures west at sunset, so this is just turning around and looking behind you toward the west of the scene we were just at. And this is interesting too because we've got an ellipse, it's like a ring of all weird chaotic cloud activity happening around this, kind of ellipsoidal form. And then we've got these little weird streaks, which could be Cloaking Craft. This thing too, look at this. This is an ellipse coming along here, a longer one with something happening in the middle. So we're definitely going to look, the overall scene is just really kind of strange, so we're going to look at it with enhancement. And here we go, look at this reddish color signature, warm signature happening all over here. I'm not sure if something's happening here above, it just looks odd as well. So I'm going to leave this to you to have on your own time to look a little bit more and see what you might find in that photo. Again, if you see anything fun I haven't called out, feel free to let me know in the comment section below if you want. This is called Hotwheel, Ring Plus Fire Shapes, Southwest at Sunset. So just having fun because it looks like a wheel that's like on fire. So I'm having a little wordplay there. But look at this thing. So we've got a ring. I'm just going to focus on the right-hand side as enhancement. The left-hand side's the original. But look, we've got this ring, and then it looks like this flame, and then it looks like this is a head, like a shadow being. That would be the head, the shoulder with an arm and the hand holding the wheel, if you will, and then like another arm, going up this way. Just thought it was interesting. Now we got warm signature down here toward the horizon with some dark cloud moving in to mask it. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I just thought it was fascinating and worth posting. Okay, equally so is this red pink orb or other light source in the sky. Same area, and now this thing has turned bright red pink, and nothing to the right of it, which would be heading out to the west, looked like it was doing this. So this seemed kind of be local on its own, creating this kind of generating this color. And then we got this weird thing. I want to bring your attention here where my cursor is. This looks like a smudge out, but it's really like ethereal. It looked almost like LED, pure white light activity happening, but it was more than that. It just seems ethereal. I covered that in other shows where this pops up silhouetting behind a Cloaking Craft, just emerging on the scene, and some other, it's just kind of some supernatural phenomenon, I think, or interdimensional one. If you have any ideas on that, let me know. But anyway, I'm not going to have an answer for you, but I'm just pointing it out. It's really unusual. These are just blackbirds, some type of blackbird that were flying by. On the right-hand side is also an original photo, so just again, looking at this interesting phenomenon happening, and look how strange the cloud activity is here on the edges. So something just seems very artificial, meaning, just generating out of dimension or advanced ET technology. I'm not sure what's going on. And here we're looking at the same too with some enhancement, just to see if we can get any more clues. I don't really, I don't know if you do, but I just like looking at the color signatures happening all over the place on this one. This is called Red, Pink Orb and Dark Shadow in Sky. So now we're looking at that same kind of cotton candy ball that we were looking at in the UK. I know you guys call it candy floss. That's our little sky candy theme at Halloween edition here. But anyway, looking to the left of it, and that would be going toward the east, we've got this dark gray stuff happening. Look at this dark gray form emerging, and then this stuff in front. At the same time, we have this little thing, looks like almost like a U shape, looks like something diving down out of that cloud mass. Looking over here to the right, I don't quite get too much more out of it, but I think that's some type of Cloaking Craft happening there. And I'm venture to say there's a bunch of Cloaking Craft happening all over the place, like that point sticking out. There's a lot going on in these photos, but especially in here too where my cursor is, that looks very interesting. But have a look on your own, see what you find in here. Okay, this is called Craft Lifting Off Cloud at Sunrise. The next few slides coming up are really interesting. These are looking southeast at sunrise. And I almost missed it when I was going through the editing phase of what to put in the show. I'm looking along, and I'm used to looking at the cloud rims and the silhouettes because I've been seeing a lot of interesting stuff parking there or emerging. But look where I have letter A. This looks like a craft just popping off here, off of a little like a launching platform. And so we look at 8.1, and we see like a craft body and maybe something trailing behind. We go to A2. I was trying to get more hard edge detail out of it like I do have in other shows, but I just wasn't picking it up quite. But it looks like a stick with like a U in the back. This almost looks like a tuning fork. But it definitely looks like something detached off of this little peak, so see what you think is going on there. Then we've got cloud lifting off at sunrise, and here now I'm not sure if that was the same craft and it morphed, or now we have a different one. But look at this at A8.1. What the heck is going on here? But it definitely looks like this would be like a windshield, and that would be the front of the craft. And again, I don't know what's going on. See what you think is happening. Now in this one, we are going to the top of this little thing, and look at this started forming. So this, if you're on the top of Mount Shasta or something like that, you would expect to see that shaped cloud, but not here in subtropical to tropical Florida, South Florida. We never get that kind of shaped cloud, and yet I've been seeing it popping up this year. So I have to say that can't be a natural cloud form. This is, hot and humid and not windy, which you would need cold, high altitude, air to like wind blow this thing to look like that. So that caught my attention. So is this off in the background. It's looking a little weird, like Cloaking Craft emerging or something. So we go to B1, try to get a little more detail, but it was still a little bit fuzzy. So we'll go over here. Still we got B. And now look, past this thing, what's this at letter C? We go to C.1. It has structure to it. It has a form. What the heck is going on? C2, I was trying to enhance it further to get even a better look. I didn't really make it. So C.1 is probably the best representation of what could be going on there. So I'm just calling it a craft sitting atop a cloud with a neighbor in quotes until we figure out what that is. Now this is looking the opposite direction toward the west, but it's craft cloaking at cloud rims at sunrise. So just look at these shapes. These aren't natural cloud forms. These little weird things poking up and popping off here. This looks like a triangular form happening, cloaking and hiding in there a little bit. So we enhance it, enlarge, and look at D1. I don't really get to too much more, but that's not a natural cloud, nor is this. So to me, there's something cloaking beyond there. But see what you think. All right, this one's real interesting. Letter F. So this is craft hovering at cloud rims at sunrise again. Now we're back to looking southeast. First of all, this gray thing too looks odd. So does this. So I think that's just a form of cloak also, of craft beyond, maybe more interdimensional. But here we go. Letter F. Look at this. So this is a clear shape. Once again, in the similar area of that cloud of interest we've been looking at. Put some enhancement on it, and look at that thing. So to the naked eye, it did seem to have a bit of a rainbow spectrum around it, almost like when you look at an oil, puddle of oil, and you see a little bit of a spectrum in the oil slick. But that's what was happening, and look at that pure shape. And then we go to G. So did that pure shape morph into this, or did it like vanish and a new craft replaced it? I'm not sure. But look at, here's another distinct shape. And again, it had that little rainbow effect around it. But wait, we're not done. Look at H. Same thing. So is it the same craft that's just morphing? I think so. Look at H.1. This looks definitely like a little, windshield, like a viewing deck, and this is the bow or the point of the craft. That's what it looks like to me. We even have a straight edge in there. So this just blew my mind, and I found it fascinating. All right, then this is still looking southeast. All of a sudden, then a big blanket of dark cloud activity moves in. It had some reddish quality to it as well, though, so I wasn't sure what was going on. It just caught, this quote-unquote sun, and I covered that in other shows, so I think that is artificial sun, solar simulator involved, maybe lens arrays or lamps, whatever. Go have a look at some of those other shows if this is a new concept to you. Also look at other Earth and Sky watching channels and just look up solar simulator or artificial sun, things of that nature. You're going to find out a lot if you go do that. If you're not familiar with that already. Anyway, 8.1, I tried to zoom in and enhance things further just to see exactly what was going on, but I really only got this. So we'll continue on. And that's it for today. This is our photo of the week and our closing photo. This is called Trick or Treat Halloween 2020. So this was a yard decoration, driving around the neighborhoods. This is a little group of spirits around a little campfire, so I thought they did a great job doing their decorations and joining in on the spirit of Halloween, the fun, festive side, the lighthearted side of it. Anyway, I want to say thank you for gathering here a while. I really appreciate your time here, and I wish you tremendous peace and all the best for a beautiful week ahead. Lavender Sky Panther, bye.